Send it back to the 70s where it belongs. Please. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Tune Up Time. I am your host, Merlin, and this week I am bringing you a apartment living room that I love the character in, but it really could use some help with the balance of the room. So, let's design. So what do I like about this space? Well, I really like the molding, both the crown and the baseboard. It adds amazing character to the space. I really like this dark wood floor. It kind of anchors the space. And it's not too out there. It's simple and it just kind of fades into the background and connects everything. I also like some of the textiles in this space. I like this rug. It's a nice neutral tone that is really easy to build on top of. And I really like these sheer curtains. They allow diffusion of the light when they're closed. And they just kind of help layer. If you use them as a base, they help layer windows. But it does need some help. So the first thing is on this back wall, there are too many different levels. You have the radiator, which is one height. You have these hanging shelves, which are, while they're the same height, they're two different heights from the radiator and the TV. And then you have the TV, which is its own height and just kind of floating in space. The way to solve this is to create a continuous counter using some built-in cabinetry that you can build yourself, as well as a radiator cover, which is fairly easy to build yourself. I will try and find the link to the This Old House video where they go through the process of building one. And then you just want to balance that with a piece of cabinetry on the other end that looks very similar, but obviously it's going to be shelves instead of a radiator. And then above that, on the wall, add some shelves that are floating. What this will do is it will fill the space nicely, and it will bring the eye up towards the ceiling and make your ceiling feel like it's higher. This room has a wonderfully high ceiling. Play that up. In the before, look at all of this dead space that you have above the TV and above the cabinetry. It's wasted space, and it makes the room feel shorter. The next big issue with this space is in the conversation pit, you have three totally different scales. You have one couch that is one scale, you have another couch which is a totally different scale, and then you have this coffee table which is yet another scale. It makes the room feel busy and just very off balance. And frankly, we don't need to make it feel any busier because the floral print on these couches is busy enough. Send it back to the 70s where it belongs. Please. So really, the couches need to be replaced with one couch and two, I would say like a wingback chair or some other kind of armchair. Just not a recliner. Recliners are too big and bulky, and it will hurt the balance of the space in another way. And then just add a small side table between the two armchairs and a larger coffee table that's square. What we're going for is a V formation because it brings the furniture off the walls and puts it more so it's facing the corners. And a square coffee table will help by forming a diamond. If you can find a triangular coffee table, that would be even cooler. But square is easier. Well, square and rectangle is easier to find. Finally, in this space, you originally have lamps and end tables just kind of floating around. And the table lamps are oddly high because the end tables that they're on are oddly high. Just get rid of those. They're weird and really don't belong in the space, and they have a weird color palette that I'm not a fan of. Everything is either black or white, and while that's great for some rooms, it's not doing it for this room. So instead, add a more modern shaped table lamp between the two armchairs, and then one of the mid-century modern kind of spotlight lamps that have the heads that move behind the sofa. That will bring the lighting into the conversation pit and create more task lighting. There's no reason to have just general lighting in a space like this. You really need that task lighting, because if you're sitting reading a book, you need the light where you need it. It's not going to do any good if it's just in a corner, illuminating that corner. And then finally, one thing that's not in this drawing that the space really needs, the sheer curtains are great, but you need something that's either colored or patterned on top of those to layer the windows. And remember, you're treating the wall technically, not the window, which it looks like this space, they did a pretty good job of that. It's only covering the edge of the window, which is fine. In fact, I'd rather see that because it'll trick the eye into thinking that your window is wider. And so just hang those curtains over the existing shears to layer it. And then that way you can actually block out all of the light if need be. In about a weekend's worth of work, this space has been completely transformed from being this very drab, kind of sterile, oddly colored space to something that's beautiful and is a little bit more cohesive and is a lot more personal. So, thank you for watching this video today. As always, if you liked it, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to hear from you in the comments below, whether you're okay with floral print furniture or not. I personally hate it, but I would love to hear from you. And as always, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again.